All right, Coach Day, thank you. Thanks very much for spending a little time. All right, we'll have about 10 minutes here with Coach Day. We'll start it out with Dan Hope, 11 Warriors. Dan, lead us off.
Hey, Ryan, just, to see, the way Justin performed today, just how do you feel about, what he was able to do today and kind of what he was able to show the NFL scouts?
Yeah, I thought, it's a unique setting. Not very often do you have anything where you're just out there with nobody but over 100 NFL personnel in a quiet indoor where you're just kind of throwing the ball with no pads on. And then as time goes on, you start to get into a rhythm. But early on, it's always that kind of awkward quietness. And I thought he handled it well. I thought he threw the ball with accuracy. And then at the end, he really was kind of showing off, I thought. I mean, just driving the ball down the field with unbelievable accuracy. And anybody who was here got to see it, live and in color of just how talented he is.
Alrighty, next up, Bill Rabinowitz. Bill.
Yeah, how much have you talked to NFL teams about Justin and specifically the perceived criticism about the progressions and whether he goes through those quickly enough?
Yeah, I haven't heard that from any of the NFL personnel that have asked me questions. I know there's some people maybe who are saying that in the media. I haven't spoken to them, but I think it's interesting. Certainly have a lot of respect for the guys who watch a lot of film and see things. I know that there's certainly some out there that don't watch a ton of film, and it'll be interesting to see as we get closer to the NFL draft actually where he goes, because what really matters is what the NFL GMs and presidents and head coaches and personnel people think in the organizations. And really, at the end of the day, it's how well he does in the NFL. He's going to end up on a team, and then once he gets there, he's going to have to produce. That's what it comes down to. But some of the stuff that I have read offhand doesn't seem to fit to me. But that's something that'll be worked out as we move forward.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go next to Austin Ward. Austin.
Ryan, it seems like the one rolling to his left, the deep ball to CJ, is the one that people are latching onto as the big highlight from the day. Did you think that was Justin's best throw? And can you describe, as a former quarterback and quarterback's coach, why it's so challenging and more impressive?
Well, yeah, as a former quarterback, I probably would have broken my hip trying to throw that one, going to his left and throwing it. It might have gone 75 yards in the air. I'm not sure. It just goes to show you how accurate he is downfield. He's the most accurate down the field passer I've seen. And that was probably just the most impressive looking at it. But he threw some really nice throws in the seam, strong, powerful balls. I think when you see his arm strength, he can make a 30 or 25 yard seam route look like it's a 12-yard throw because of how strong he is. And overall was, he didn't just sit in the pocket today too, which I liked. His routine, he had to, throw off balance a little bit and have to move his feet, and which is good because he wasn't worried about being perfect. And he kind of was just trying to play the game in his own way, which I appreciated.
Alrighty, next we'll go to Tim May. Tim.
Yeah, Ryan, the Big Ten Network had a shot of you standing there talking with Urban Meyer during the Justin Fields workout. I'm just wondering, were you asking, do you want to reconsider that number one pick, et cetera? Just what was that conversation like, and how cool was it having him in the building in that capacity?
No, it was great. It was great to see him here. I know all the players he recruited and former players who were here, and all the people working the building were happy to see him and giving him hugs. And it was fun. It was fun to see him here, and actually going to spend some time with him here this afternoon. And yeah, we talk so often. It was great to see him and catch up with him.
Alrighty, next we'll go to Bill Landis. Bill.
Ryan, how come you never called the play where Justin falls backwards, throws off 1 foot, and sends it 75 yards down the field?
Well, we had it in the Team Up North game to Garrett Wilson after he sprained his MCL, but we were only on the 35-yard line, so we didn't have to throw it 75 yards, but that actually looked like the same exact play.
More seriously, I guess, just quickly about Jonathan Cooper and Baron Browning, two guys who were looking like they were playing a couple different positions or working out a couple different positions today. How much does versatility help both those guys in the eyes of the NFL?
Yeah, talking to a lot of those guys, that's what excites them, is the ability to do multiple things. When they have to substitute in personnel, then they get a little bit more of a tell on what kind of scheme or what type of front or coverage structure they're in. But when someone can do multiple things, then that allows them to play in different fronts, different coverages, ability to blitz. And I think when you look at Coop, when you look at Barron, the ability to cover, the ability to rush off the edge, the ability to, play off the ball are all going to be things that bring value.
All righty, we'll go next to Patrick Murphy. Patrick.
Ryan, aside from Justin, what was the most impressive thing you saw today from guys?
No, I don't know if there was one thing. I think something like today, it's good for the guys to get out there and for the NFL personnel to see them move around in person. I think that their body of work and what they put on film certainly matters much more. But I thought that the guys, they all looked really good. I thought they spent some time on their diet and their bodies, and they moved around really well, all of them. And I think that because of that, I got a lot of really positive feedback from the NFL personnel that they were very, very impressed with our guys today.
All righty, we'll do two more for Coach Day. First one will go to Spencer Holbrook.
Ryan, when you see the way that Wyatt and Josh both played through the last two seasons and now finding out they played through injuries, are you ever surprised to see where they're standing when you look at either like draft boards or when teams talk to you? Are you ever surprised with where they are?
No, the one thing that surprises me sometimes is sometimes the draft boards, and then where I ask people where they have them, they don't always jive, which is interesting. And I think sometimes it's, people are given a grade, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's where they're going to get drafted because of need. And I say to these guys all the time, if you draft them, they're going to be in your organization for a long time. I said that about Terry McLaurin. I said that about several guys, and it's the truth. These guys are just, they do everything the right way, and what kind of value each NFL team puts on them, I mean, that's their business. That's up to them. But I know that they're going to have great careers in the NFL. I have no doubt about that.
Ready, and last question for Coach Day to Jeff Hathhorn. Jeff.
Hey, Ryan. You only had him for a short period of time, but what are NFL teams getting in Trey Sermon?
You're getting a guy who doesn't have a lot of mileage as a running back, which I think is a huge plus because, he was injured there and didn't have a ton of carries, split some time at OU. And then, somebody who really came on this year and, the Northwestern game and the Clemson game. And really that was when he really carried the ball a lot for us. So he's young in terms of the amount of carries he's had. I think you're also, getting somebody who's very versatile. If we had more time in the spring or in the preseason, we would have done more with him out of the backfield, because especially on third down, because he's very good out of the backfield catching the ball. He's very good in protection, and he can do a lot of things. So I think they're really going to like his versatility. He can do multiple things as a running back, and I think he's going to have a great future. I think, again, it's like anything else. He's got to have the right fit and given the opportunity. But once he does, again, I think he's got a bright future.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. And next up, we're going to have Justin Hilliard.